Hello everybody, thank you for joining me again. I hope you're all doing well. We're going to be looking at question number 15 on the 2009 Pascal paper in this video. Okay, so the increasing list of 5 different integers 3, 4, 5, 8, 9 has a sum of 29. Maybe we do a quick little mental arithmetic check. That's 12, so 24 plus another 5, yeah, 29. Looks like they're right. Okay. How many increasing lists of 5 different single-digit positive integers have a sum of 33? Okay. So, what can we do? What should we do? How do we organize this sort of a thing? Because it's going to be a listing question. Now, if we take a look at our possibilities, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. There's not going to be that many to list out. And if we ever list out 5 different ones, we can stop. Because if there were more, and that were the correct answer, it would be presented somewhere amongst our solutions. So if we ever hit 5, we stop. We might not hit 5. There might be only 3 or something like that. But when you're doing a question like this, it's not so much of an issue with this one here, because there's only going to be a few lists. But a bigger question with more lists, you have to sort of plan out how are you going to write your lists out, because you don't want to get confused and backtrack and skip a list, or write the same list out twice and think that they're different. That can throw off your count, and you never want to do that. It's not going to be too much of an issue here, but it's important to have sort of a plan. So here's my plan. I'm going to start picking with the biggest numbers first. So I'm going to, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. That's the biggest possible list of 5 single-digit numbers, and see where I'm at. I should be more than 33, but this one here, until we sort of start understanding the patterns or anything like that, we just have to do a little guess and check. So starting with a fairly big one, we could of course start with the one they give us, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. That's 29, so we'd need to add 4 of them in there, and that wouldn't be bad, and that would give us one list most likely. But I'll start with this. So this is 5 plus 6 is 11, plus a 9 is 20. This is going to be 35. So that's a little too big. A little too big. So what could I do? Well, I could drop this 5 down by 2 and get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, keeping as large numbers as I possibly can. And this, we can check, is going to actually add up to the 33 that we want. Okay. Now, what could I do? Well, I could try and drop a number lower, turn this into a 2, but that would be at the cost of making one of these other numbers a little bit bigger. And if I make 7 bigger, then suddenly I've got 2 8s. So we'd have a bit of a problem. So what else could we do? Well, I could, say, drop the 6 down to make it a 5. Keep the 7, the 8, and the 9 here. Now, this would have 1 less, so we have to add in 1 more, and that would be a 4 here. And that's fine. And that would give me 33 as well. Okay, but I'm not really seeing a whole lot I could do after this, because what could I do? I could drop the 7 down and make it a 6. But this is only 32. I'd have to increase one of these numbers. If I increase the 4, I get 5. Then I'd have 2 5s. If I increase the 5 by 1, I'd get another 6. So there'd be a problem. If I increase the 6, I'd be back to the previous case. The 8 would become the 9. The 9 would become a 10, and that's not allowed. So I'm a little stuck. I've got 2, and that's fine. I definitely know the answer isn't A. But maybe we start playing around with it another way. Maybe we say, what's the lowest we could get? Okay. Now, with both of these cases here, I've got the 7, 8, and 9. Could I ever use less than that? What if I just had the 8, the 9, and I didn't have a 7? The next best thing would be 6, 5, 4. This isn't enough. This adds up to 32. Okay? So, what could I do? Well, what if I never had the 9? Okay? So I've got the 7, the 8. This is the best I can do if there's no 9. Okay, this is as big as it could possibly be with no 9, and this is going to end up being a total of 30. So we definitely need that 9 in there. Well, maybe we could get rid of the 8. Okay, and we just sort of play around with this and sort of test, well, what possible numbers could I have? Okay. So, maybe I could have the 9, the 7, 6, 5, 4. That's the biggest I could have without an 8. So if I can't get over 33 or at 33 with this, then I know I definitely need that 8. And if we add these up, 4 and 5 is 9, plus another 9 is 18, plus a 5 is 25, plus a 7 is 25, plus a 6 is 31. This is too low. So I need the 7, 8, and 9. 7, 8, and 9 are guaranteed, and they add up to 24. So I need them, because I can't do it without them. The biggest possible combination without a 7 isn't big enough. So that leaves 33 minus 24. That leaves 9. So I need to take 2 single digits and make them add up to 9. Well, how can I do that? And these single digits also have to be less than a 7. Well, I could have 6 and 3. I could have 5 and 4, but that's it. Anything else either has a number that's 7, 8, or 9, or is just too small and doesn't add up to 9. So yeah, there's only going to be 2 cases. Now, where you decide to say, I'm done searching for cases, let's move on, bubble in our answer, and go to the next question, is entirely up to you. I like to convince myself that I actually haven't missed any cases, and sometimes that's very hard to do. And so, yeah, sometimes I get stuck where we knew it was 2 cases a while ago, but I always worry that I'm going to miss a case and something like that. And it's something you have to decide, where's the line for you? Okay? When do you stop spending so much time on this question? It's a question 15. It shouldn't take us too long, so yeah, it probably is 2 cases. But if you're really pedantic, if you really want to make sure you were rigorous and exact and that you don't want to lose 6 marks, 6 marks is important. You're going to spend a little more time trying to figure out a way to actually rule out anything else. Okay? Either that, or so there's just some really obvious way that I'm missing to see that it should only be 2 cases. But I think my approach was pretty good. I showed that you have to have a 7, 8, and 9, or at least I showed it to my satisfaction. And when you're writing the contest, you don't have to justify anything to anyone. This isn't the Friar, this isn't a written contest. It's whether or not you're happy with your answers. But I justified that I needed a 7, 8, and a 9. That leaves 9 left over, and I can only do that with 3, 6, and 4, 5. So my answer is going to be 2 cases, and I move on. You might have moved on a long time ago. You might still be working on this one. But you got to sort of manage your time. And if you're spending 5 minutes on a Part B question, you may want to re-examine what you're doing and what your goals are. Because if your goals are to try every question in Part C, for example, you're going to be wasting your time on these B parts. You're not going to be giving enough time to a Part C question, and you don't want that. On the other hand, if it's your first time writing, maybe 15 is as far as you expected to go, in which case 10 minutes on this one is fine. Okay? It's all about you and what you're comfortable with and where you're comfortable leaving your answers. But that's enough said. So 2 was B. There we go. So we bubble in B, and we're just going to move right along to question number 16. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you for 16 next time.